the Granary of the East. Such was Sri Lanka's popularity in the ancient era, where the golden paddy harvest was reaped in abundance. The silvery streams that ran through the lands in a carefully planned network, bringing the gift of water, turned the dry zone kingdoms into lands so fertile that they became the cradle of Sri Lanka's civilization. For millennia now, Sri Lankan irrigation engineers have achieved great feats. Even without modern heavy machinery, they built earthen dams over 15 meters in height, well within the International Commission on Large Dams definition of large dams. Over 130 such dams, most of them ancient, lock in the scarce resource of water and serve the agricultural lifestyle of the majority of Sri Lankans even today. The first Aaryan settlements in the country's dry zone centered on small tanks that catered to a single village. Lanka's first serious ventures into irrigation projects were taken as far back as 600 BC according to recorded history, while the Abhayawewa, built in 500 BC, stands even today, supplying the agricultural water needs throughout the surrounding 140-hectare area and fulfilling domestic needs. By the 1st century AD, our technology and water resources know-how was at such a level of sophistication that we unhesitatingly diverged major rivers to serve the agricultural purposes of many settlements. The historical chronicles themselves record 30 such diversion schemes, while a further 150, completed by the 3rd century AD, are evidenced in the ancient stone inscriptions that serve as place markers of our history. The village chieftains managed the complex irrigation system that shifted and regulated the sought-after water resource. From water-rich basins to those in short supply, water flowed through a complicated irrigation system comprising of trans-basin diversion canals, which fed a series of reservoirs by the 12th century. Dams served as an integral part of the complicated irrigation system. Those were almost entirely earthen, and most fit easily into the large category, even by modern standards. The sheer size of these great reservoirs created the effect of inland seas, aptly named Samudra. Each great king of the dry zone civilizations left their indelible mark of power and benevolence by building magnificent reservoirs, and some were even raised to the position of gods. Even today, King Marsen, who ruled the country in the 2nd century AD, is celebrated around the Millennia reservoir as the god of Millennia. The great king Parakramabahu, who ruled the country in the early 12th century, said, "Let not a drop of water from the skies run to the sea unused by man and environment." While large reservoirs serve the purpose of long-term storage, multiple barrages across rivers also help the cause of transferring water to areas in short supply. One such example is the Minipe Barrage, which brought ore to modern engineers who witnessed how the great waters of the Abhayawewa River had been dammed at a narrow bend in the river using two naturally occurring rocks connected together by ancient masonry. The crown jewel of the Sri Lankan irrigation engineer's achievement is the Biso Kotua, an ancient Sri Lankan irrigation invention similar to the modern sluice gate. The other speciality of the dam industry in that era is the spill design done based on flood design. The precise mathematics and engineering skills of Sri Lanka's ancient irrigation inventions that held the world in awe, however, met inexplicable abandonment in around the 12th century. Restoration of those abandoned dams was started in mid-19th century. By the early 1900s, the need for newer irrigation schemes was felt around the country. The first modern dam took shape in 1923, and the first concrete dam was built in 1957. By the 1980s, the modern materials of rock-filled and concrete arches became the norm for building dams. Yet, the ancient earthen dams have stood the test of time with them. Modern creations, from the Igniagala Reservoir to the Victoria Dam in Kotmale, stand as serene and majestic salutations to our ancient talents. The emphasis of the modern reservoirs has shifted from agricultural irrigation to hydropower, flood control, and providing drinking water to the ever-growing population. Massive-scale projects such as Upper Kotmale, Rabukanoya, Daduroya, and Gurugaloya promise to serve many more people and regain Sri Lanka's glory as a land of man-made seas and golden paddy fields. Sri Lanka's millennia-old irrigation schemes are a repository of human knowledge on irrigation and water supply. Our reservoirs have served many purposes, from agriculture to ancient culture, a sign of royal power to generating hydropower. As we step into each century, we can say with pride that our man-made seas have indeed been our lifeblood and the best evidence of our technological achievements that help us tame and harness the element of water over many millennia.